Hey guys, Grand Rising. Happy Thursday to everyone. It's your girl. I'm out here in this summer, beautiful summer heat, summer existence. Just wanted to just see what you guys are up to. I have definitely been in the house, I'm not outside, but in the house. And I'm just getting out to enjoy some sunlight, some sun rays, and to just soak up as much vitamin D as possible. Just wanted to talk today a little bit about checking your blood pressure, getting out and getting your steps in, as many as you can per day, and basically the benefits of that. As you guys can see, I got a fresh wash, got the beautiful shrinkage going on here, and just loving just all natural. It's very important that we at times cut back on a few things and really just be as organic as possible in regards to products that we're using and things that we're putting in our bodies, especially as we get in our 30s and 40s. And really, it's important to start these things in our 20s, especially for those who are suffering with certain health issues. A lot of these things are tied to the clothes we wear, and now they're even talking about the polyester and only wearing cotton, and just how the energies from these clothes and the different things in these fibers are sucking the little life out of us. No pun intended, but it's just really about being intentional. As you guys can see, I'm out here walking, soaking in the fresh air, just really getting out into nature. It's good for sound, your hearing. It's good for just your whole outlook, seeing God's beautiful creation. But I've just taken a moment to evaluate things around me. So guys, there's so much going on in the news, and I'm not inclined to talk about everything. I don't let everything in my atmosphere, and everything's not even worth talking about. A lot of this is to harness our energies. So when you're giving energy to a thought or taken away from something else. So really and truly, the whole thing of it is, or the flex, or what they're trying to do is, if collectively we're all focused on something, or our hearts, are looking towards a story about this, or salacious gossip, or whether it's truth or not, if it takes away energy from us being able to focus on the Most High and what He has set aside for us to do, that's good and lovely and prosperous for the people in the way of soul prospering. That's the whole thing. So we're just really just trying to move in a way that we're supposed to move. We have all of this technology, and it's a time in the world where people are less connected. Less than when we had a rotary phone. Folks used to stay on these rotary phones and talk for hours. Now we're tied to cell phones, where you may get a text, and when people do text you, they don't even give you a greeting or salutation. We just have taken the beauty out of things. It's just quick, one and done. I mean, we've passed this on to our kids and grandkids on hurry up and do life, hurry up and move through. And the joy and the beauty of going through the process has been diminished. It's been pulled, from up under us. But we have to get back to the process, get back to enjoying going through things. It's okay to struggle a little bit. It's just like a math problem. You got to figure that thing out. You got to struggle a little bit with it. And then at the end, go back, check your work. Make sure you didn't miss anything along the way. So the beauty in, getting back to basics, the beauty in, taking your time to say hello to someone, at least give a greeting and salutation on your messages. Hey, I have a question or whatever. I mean, have you even spoke to this person unless, and it doesn't even matter if it was 24 hours ago or 5 years ago. It's just decency and order has to be brought back. We're just a culture of people now that it's my needs. What do I need right now? And we just can't coexist like that. It has to be a certain level of reciprocity. And I'm taking this time on a Thursday because I am a little I wouldn't call it selfish, but I enjoy my time. I'm not, as much as I do love commentaries and I do love getting these messages out to the people, I love just being home with a book. I love just reading. I love writing. I love just that personal time. I don't have a whole lot of reliance on having to talk to a lot of people. I have some true blues that check on me. I check on them. Or if it's a year from now we get together, it's always a good time. So I don't have a dependency on others for my peace and my joy. Not to say that I don't love them or I don't care for them, but when it comes to family, you really have to check in. Let folks check on you and check in on them. It doesn't mean that you have to call people every day, but even if you shoot a text, I have an uncle that, he sends me a message every now and then, and it's so beautiful. And it's just, hey, niece, I love you. He's not asking for anything. He's not, he's just being thoughtful, and with him being his age, at my age, I think that's so dope that, he checks on nieces and nephews, and I'm sure his kids and things. He's, operating that text, or there's some emojis, and just, using what he has to be thoughtful and to encourage others. So I would encourage you guys, as I encourage myself, these videos that I upload periodically, which will hopefully, get to a time where it's a little bit more frequently. But again, it's my mood. If I feel like, walking and sharing, because my walks are so therapeutic, I like to just have my phone on my arm and listen to nature or listen to my music, my Yahusha worship music, something with a very high frequency that's able to actually lift up my countenance and to, minister to my organs I've definitely have been on a journey towards keeping my blood pressure and things in check. So a lot of times that means taking things out of your life that would cause stress. And my thing is I'm enjoying the fact that I've done that, I'm doing that. And I have to be careful because I'm a person who loves energy and suspense. And sometimes I put myself in situations where I'm trying to walk without getting run over here, but I put myself in situations where there's a lot of stress because I do well sometimes in stressful situations. But be careful with that if that's something that drives your blood pressure. So I'm on a walk to help keep blood pressure down. So if this video encourages you, great. But please take care of your body, your mind, and more so your spirit, because none of those things can operate from a place that's not sound. So you have to have a sound mind to be able to know that you need to do something with your body, if you're not operating from a place of healing too. I will also say, if you haven't gotten counseling or you haven't, resolved any, childhood trauma or midlife trauma, whatever trauma has to be dealt with. That's for sure. Trauma has to be dealt with and it has to be settled. So, a lot of folks, they just do create lives and do all of that from a place of trauma bonding. And then, those things are actually in essence passed on to their children. DNA and all this stuff, it is a real thing. So we have to be really careful on how we, we have to be real careful on how we handle life and how we handle our business. So guys, because of my allergies, I'm going to get back over on this other side of this road because everybody's keeping the area nice and neat, but I don't have the wherewithal right now to be dealing with grass. The smell of grass and whatever those particles and things are, they affect my sinuses. So with that being said, I'm gonna mosey my little self right on back on my path to go the opposite way. But even with that, it's always about reading the room, reading your body, reading what's going on, a lot of times we're so aloof that we're not paying attention to these things. But I will say life is going to give you a lot of times what you put in it. I'm not talking to those who have been, abused and traumatized in things. And some people have lived a very, very hard life and no fault of their own. But what I will tell you, regardless of what you've been through, you have the power to change your life. How you doing today? You have the power to change your life. So your situation starts with one choice to say, I'm going to turn my health around. I don't care what size you are. I don't care what's your mobility issue. I told you guys on my other video that I had to have PRP shots in both of my knees because of the cartilage. This had nothing to do with anything. I've been active. Sometimes there's things that genetically are going on. You have to make sure you check yourself out, figure out what's what. I took medications to help it. I went to physical therapy, and those things did get better. But over time, I still had to deal with those issues and getting the PRP shots. If anyone's interested in knowing more about that, please inbox me. But I have greater mobility. I'm able to now get to the gym like I want to and to do different things. So, if you fall into situations like that, and then, obviously weight will happen if you're not able to move the way you need to. It does cause, in some people, weight gain or health issues. So once you're able to get yourself the help you need, get out there. Even if when you're going through it, you got to find different ways so that you're able to be mobile. A lack of moving is it's a silent killer. So I would say, find something that allows you to move. I don't want my video to be too long, but I do want to just cover some things. Those who know the word knows this whole thing with rumors of wars. Please learn, take the time to read and ask the Most High to tell you what is really going on in the world. Find yourself in that word. There's a lot of things have been twisted. There's a lot of things that have been placed in certain formats or in a certain way so that certain agendas are strengthened, or we can be clear on it. When it comes to political affiliations, certain things as far as what the majority of people believe plays a big role in how our systems that we're in works. If you believe that the Bible says that a certain thing is right, then you have an authority then to carry on in a certain way because you're saying God says this is okay. But you have to really figure out for yourself what is being said and what context was it being said. And you have to educate yourselves on proper canon. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there's been a lot of things done that weren't right, and that has nothing to do with the Most High, and he's gonna deal with those things. So even in those things, there's no need for you to lose your cool or be worried about it. Vengeance is his, says the Lord. And so if we let that be, then the things that we are guilty of, we don't have to worry about getting what we deserve. So a lot of folks don't worry about what somebody deserves or the wrongs that have been done. Definitely pray about them. I'm not saying not to stand up for justice, but when you're standing up for justice, that's mean being the best that you can be, keeping your hands clean and doing, if you want to do the good work is feeding the hungry, clothing those who need clothes, being there for the widows. Line up with those things. You line up with those things, and then let's move forward there. Doing the good work in the commission, and everything else will line up because he's not slack on his promises. Those things that he said will come to pass, they are coming to pass right in front of us. So I will say, as I take this wonderful walk, step by step, if you put your faith where it needs to be, and you take care of your temple, and you are kind to other people, and you're living the type of life that you should live. Not saying you won't have some moments where things may not go your way, but you can live a good life, what we consider a good life. Not coveting others, not worrying about what someone else has done or said or other agendas. But if you keep your faith where it needs to be, the cares of this world will fade away. You will be totally oblivious to those things that are not kingdom value, of not, of the kingdom. And that really has to be our focus for those of us who are kingdom-minded. If you are not kingdom-minded, every wave of doctrine, everything this one and that one's doing, your mind will be here and there. And that is actually by design. We're on all of these social media platforms. We're hearing this person's take on this and that person's take on that. Get before the Most High. Get to a quiet room. Open up your mind and heart to what His will is, what the will of the Creator is. The Creator will speak to you. The Creator will give you the peace that you need. The Creator will move things out of your life in whichever season you're in that are not beneficial to you and the kingdom. You are a part of the kingdom. The kingdom of God is in you. You don't have to worry about agendas on what other folks are doing or what their program is doing. You can volunteer, do whatever you want to do. And I want to say this to this class that's coming up and just graduating. Do not let these groups and things suck you in to a life where you are worshiping a false god, okay? I'm not going to call no names. All of these people and places know where they are. They are on the rampage. This was the largest class of 2025. Whether you graduated higher learning, high school, whatever it is, middle school, because they're grabbing them young now, too. They got all kind of organizations. The only organization you need to be concerned about is the organization of your faith in the Most High God and what the Creator wants you to do. Do not have none of these ties and affiliations come out from up under them. Don't even go into them, okay? All right? You know, when people say God, God is the title, little g. You need to know the name of the Most High. And I do believe the Most High, His name is Yahuwah, and His Son's name is Yahusha. You can study these things. You can get you a Bible. You can get you an older canon Bible. But a lot of these places have set you up for failure. We've all been there, okay? It's an agenda. And you think, okay, no, there's a lot of folks, they're at a certain place. They might mean well, but they're at a certain place in their learning. And they're letting, they'll come at you like this is, the genuine article. No, you have to figure that stuff out for yourself. And we're in stealth mode right now. We can't afford to be coming out of covenants and situations that we ignorantly have bind ourselves to, okay? You don't need anything plus anything to get closer to the Most High. All you need is a broken and a contrite heart, or a heart that's willing to serve, and then He'll tell you where you need to serve. And then He'll tell you what you need to do. He'll tell you where you need to show up at. You don't need anyone beating up on you. You don't need anyone, trauma bonding with. All this stuff is of the evil one, okay? All that's foolishness, okay? There's plenty of people that you can bond with for fellowship and true fellowship. One with somebody really there for you, because all of this stuff ain't nothing but smoke and mirrors. Half of these folks, they don't have no real friends. They're lonely, probably on the verge of suicide. But it's all about a look, and it's all about a certain, it's smoke and mirrors, okay? So I will say this because I have a lot of loved ones that are coming in or coming up. Please do not tie yourself to any of this foolishness out here. Okay? Because the end is coming soon. I know people been saying that, but I'm telling you, this is more than rumors and rumors of wars. It's a lot of stuff in your time. The thing of it is your time is now. Your time is right now. So I would say this, like I said, if you're out here, if you're in your 20s or if you're teens, work out every day. Get a regimen. Learn to have a fasting component to your regimen, your health regimen. Also eat clean as you can. If you can get off of meat, great. If you can, grow some food yourself, if you can find, people gonna be leaving these cities, guys. I mean, the word is, it is what it is. We got to get off of all of the medication. We got to get ourselves, get the inflammation out of your face, get the inflammation out of your body. That comes from moving. And it's needless to say, we all know that smoking and drinking and all these other things, not judging. We all, because it's just the same as eating a bunch of sugar and starches and sitting around and not moving. So we're not pointing no finger at nobody. Wherever your vice is, that's your vice. And whatever my vice is, that's my vice. So the thing of it is just to close in on these things as soon as possible, because we are under attack. Our food supply, our health. You have to let the Most High, we're not judging. You do what you feel like you have to do for your body, but please do not treat others any kind of way because they decide to refrain from these things, I just pray for each and every individual and their families. I love you guys. Thank you for taking the time to look at this video. I know a lot of times if something is not stupid and silly and it's not only 2 minutes, some people are not interested. But like I said, for those who are, a message, I talked about magnesium, getting magnesium in your spray, vitamin D, getting out here in this sun and the fresh air, getting outside of the central heat and air, let the sun, be careful with the sun, but definitely get some sun, you know, move your body. If you want your body to be good to you, you have to be good to your body. Again, I love you guys. Treat your family well. Call your parents, not just when you need something, and parents, call your children. You know, it's a two-way street. Everybody's saying somebody never calls me or they never do this. You be the one who do it. You be the one. Even if you do something once a month, call as many people as you can. You know, love on them. Do what you can do. If you've got some family reunions to go to, don't just go to the family reunions to talk about people and see how the situation go. Help with the program. Host a family reunion. Do what you got to do. Love on your family while you have opportunity. I'm so blessed by the opportunity to have been to a few family reunions, and you know, I had a chance to spend some time with some of my family members that are not even here now. So, like I said, a lot of folks, they're so cold-hearted because of things that have happened in their lives. But you have to understand, everybody have had things that happen in their lives, and we're all dealing with it as best we can. But we're not going to shut out the joy of life. We're going to, you know, love those who are here and that love us too. A lot of times we're running behind people who don't even love us. They could care less about you. And then you got family members here wanting to love you, concerned about you, and then you're giving them the cold shoulder. Time up for that, because when you do need someone, they may give you that same energy. So if you want love, give love. Okay, simple as that. If you want love, give love. If you want your body to love you back, love your body. If you want your mind to be a strong mind, put things in your mind that's going to come back and help you in your life. You know, scriptures are clear. Think on things that are lovely. If you're always looking at doom and gloom, CNN all the time, or salacious stuff about people's business, half of this stuff is conjured up. Even if it's true, who cares? It's not going to edify you, and it's not going to feed you. Okay, so with all that being said, love, live light, enjoy, get some sun, enjoy the neighborhood, and have a wonderful day. It's Thursday, and we are moving our bodies. Love you guys. God bless. Take care. Peace.